All right, Michael, this is clearly one of the Alabama defense's toughest challenges that they're going to face all season, and it's a completely different challenge from what they faced last week against Arkansas. Arkansas like to run the ball, go traditional. Texas A&M is kind of the face of the new offenses in college football. They're going to go 4 or 5 wide and really pick up the tempo once they get first downs. But what is different about this A&M offense than maybe what Alabama's seen the last couple of years?
Yeah, well, I mean, you lose their two the main playmakers in Manziel throwing the ball, and Mike Evans catching the ball. That combination was brutal last year for Alabama. So both those two guys are gone, but they have so many receivers they can insert back in there. With Kennedy will be back healthy again, the guy who caught the game-winning play in 2012. He's probably their best receiver, but they've got a good stable, and they spread the ball around probably more than a lot of teams do. With Seals Jones, you got a bunch of those guys who can catch passes.
Yeah, Kenny Hill really kind of burst on the scene in the season opener against South Carolina. Was playing well up until a couple weeks ago. Now it seems like he's throwing a little bit more interceptions and things like that. And Alabama players have said that there really is no difference in this offense. But after we press Trey DePriest a little bit more, there is a difference between Kenny Hill and Johnny Manziel. And I think Hill is athletic; he can run, but he doesn't do kind of the same kind of running as Manziel does.
Now Manziel was able to run. He didn't always run downfield. He was able to run around in the pocket, find little gaps, creases, duck inside of this and that, and then be able to throw the ball down the field, which made it very difficult for the secondary to be able to hold their man for as long as they did. So I think that is a major difference for this team.
For Alabama, I think there's nowhere to go but up on defense when it pertains to Texas A&M, because when you look at last year's game, it was probably actually a worse defensive performance than in 2012 when Texas A&M actually won the game. Last year the offense kind of bailed out Alabama in that game in College Station, but I think with how they've played so many of these offenses going throughout the year, they're probably a little bit more prepared in the secondary, especially. They're in better shape injury-wise going into this game, and maybe knowing what they have at cornerback going into this game than they were last year.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, last year cornerback it was an adventure for sure. You had Blue I think he got hurt during that game. John Fulton got pretty much victimized by Mike Evans. So yeah, it was a long day for that group.
Yeah, this game will go a long way toward maybe dispelling or proving that Alabama has progressed against these no-huddle spread offenses. If another game like last year's happens, that theory will continue. That Alabama can't stop it, but they're in better position this year probably than they were last year.